back to the Love Letters from Lakyn podcast. Happy freaking New Year. It's 2025. Are you kidding me? That's so crazy. I feel like the New Year is one of those things where it comes around every year, but it's still an insane shock to the system when it happens. 2025 sounds effing crazy and too much. You're telling me it's been 5 years since COVID-19 hit. 5 years. How old was I? I was 17. I was a junior in high school. I still remember having to miss out on the back end of my junior year, which isn't as bad as missing out on the back end of your senior year. But I remember it was the year that we had to take the civics history exam. That was a really big deal. It was a state mandated test, and we had to do it online, which, listen, fine by me. I hate in-person tests, but you know how it is. If you can notice, I'm a bit nasally, per usual. Literally, what is new? What is new? I am always stuffed up, and honestly, I'm sorry, because you guys listening to this, you probably, every damn time I record, and every damn time that you guys listen, you're probably like, oh, why does she sound like that again? So, I have my water handy today. I have my tissues handy, because we are in for another nasally episode. Can you believe? You're probably gonna be like, yeah, Lakyn, I can't believe. Can you believe that I got sick on New Year's Day? Yeah, that's right. I woke up on New Year's Day, January 1st, 2025, and I had a little tickle in the back of my throat. I had a runny nose, and I was like, oh, here we go again. New year, same immune system. You know what I mean? Anyways, we have quite a lot to get to today because I took the week off last week to sort of reset for the new year and plan all my episodes for the month of January. So before we get into the meat of this episode, which we will be doing my 2025 ins and outs for this year, and then we will be getting into, well, before that, we'll be getting into some life updates. We'll do my weekly report and just talk about all the crazy stuff that has happened to me in the time that I have not talked to you guys. So let's get right into it. I do want to mention that it is a snow day currently. One of my life updates is that I have not worked in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks even, because when you work for a school as a teacher or a para or all of the above, you get that break off. You know what I mean? You get their winter break off. So I have not worked in about 2.5 weeks, and I am going absolutely bonkers. I'm going crazy not having something to do. If you guys know me, you know that I thrive on a routine. If my routine is not how it's supposed to be, if something changes, if I'm not on a routine at all, I genuinely fall into a rabbit hole of depression and anxiety, which has been me the past 2 weeks. And I hate that because on Christmas break, you're supposed to be happy and excited and everything's supposed to feel warm and fuzzy. But I'm just sitting here itching my skin literally because I'm I need something to do. And to an extent, it's fun being able to read my books, watch binge watch TV shows, watch new movies, spend time with my family, bake. And I have been doing all of the above, all the things that I love to do. But at some point you run out of things to fill that time with, and I am so ready to get back to work. Thank God we go back tomorrow officially. Today was a snow day. I was supposed to be back at work today. Today was a snow day. And don't get me wrong, it's beautiful outside. I love a good snow day. The snow this morning when the sun was shining literally looked like glitter as it was falling, and it was beautiful. I had a wonderful, peaceful morning. However, I am ready to get back to work, and I know some people, especially you ladies in the office, might be listening to this and you're like, Lakyn, I do not want to be at work right now. I'm ready. Put me in, coach. I am ready to go back. I am aching for something to do. Anyways, that is just one of my mini life updates. I want to address the elephant in the room, which if you're watching on YouTube, you can't really see my nails because still it's kind of far away, but I cheated on Olive and June. I know. Moment of silence. If you guys have been listening to the podcast for a while, or if you know me in my personal life, you know that I'm a huge fan of Olive and June press-on nails. And I rave about these press-on nails, and I talk to all my friends about them. Olive and June will like comment on my Instagram posts and such, but they still haven't sponsored me. Anyways, I was at Target the other day because I had a gift card. Right, naturally. And I saw these beautiful press-on nails that have like light yellow, like a butter yellow tip, and they had like chrome on them, and I'm like, those are jaw-dropping gorgeous. I need those. So I picked them up. They're from a brand called Chill Tips. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to use a different press on nail. Like for the past like 3 years, you guys, I've been strictly wearing Olive and June press ons. And I feel like I put myself in a box, I feel like I really boxed myself in by staying loyal to Olive and June when there are all these beautiful other nails out there. And I think that's also a great analogy for life, but we're not going to get into that right now. So, Chill Tips, they're about $15, so a little more expensive than Olive and June, but less expensive than Glamnetics nails, which is another nail brand that is beautiful. So, got these. Unfortunately, they fit beautifully. They stay very well. They hold up very well. I love the shape of them. They're a gorgeous almond shape. They are, I mean, you guys, like they're stunning. And I fear that I will be buying from them again. So you heard it here first. I am branching out from Olive and June this year, which again, one of my New Year's resolutions is to branch out, try new things, step out of my comfort zone, step out of the box a little bit. So we're already achieving that, which is really awesome. Water break. Toby's just watching the little snowflakes go by outside, and it's really cute. I want to briefly talk about how my best friend, Kennedy Russell, arrived in LA this week, Los Angeles, California. She will be studying there this next semester, and I'm so happy for her and so proud of her, and I'm going to try to visit her this semester while she's there. I've never been to LA, but I was working on my vision board for the year of 2025, and I plastered Los Angeles all over it because I will be making that happen. I'm actually looking at my vision board right now, and it's really inspiring me. This year I made it by myself. This year, last year I made it with friends. This year I made it by myself, and I felt like it was really therapeutic. And I feel like it meant more to do it by myself because I was able to not be influenced by anyone else's goals or resolutions. And I was able to just kind of, no judgment, no influence, just sit down and do it on my own and put into perspective what I really want in this year. So excited for that. Excited for all that this year is going to bring. Honestly, I am feeling really good about this year. I have a lot of goals, and just normally when I make New Year's resolutions, I I don't I don't want to put too much pressure on myself because I'm a firm believer in you can have a new beginning, you can have a fresh start at any point that you want to. And so I try not to put a lot of pressure on it. However, this year I'm really trying to be intentional about certain goals and achievements that I have in my head and have on my vision board. I'm kind of like telling myself like, okay, it's okay to not put pressure on yourself for some like new habits and things, but I am 1000% putting pressure on myself to make some of these things happen, like a trip to LA. Like I want that to happen, and so I'm going to have to put the work in for that to happen. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand? I feel like there's a distinction between like certain goals and resolutions. You don't have to push on yourself right away, but like for me, if it's like a big trip or you know, like a work goal or something, like you have to work towards that from the beginning, and I am like starting that ASAP, and I'm not treading lightly. Okay, anyways, do you guys remember when I was talking about that game, Good Pizza, Great Pizza, that I used to play on my iPad? Well, apparently it's on Nintendo Switch, which I had no idea, but I am gonna download it soon because I don't get me wrong, I love my iPad, but my iPad is strictly for like podcast things, and so a lot of my storage on there goes towards podcast graphics, podcast planning, obviously editing and filming my videos. So, anyways, I just thought that was cool and I had no idea, and I love my Nintendo Switch. So, I also want to mention that Good Pizza, Great Pizza, the game, what do you call them? The creator, I guess. I feel like there's a word for it. Whatever. Okay, the creator of Good Pizza, Great Pizza is working on a new app called Good Coffee, Great Coffee. Would you look at that? I'm excited for it. I'll probably also get that one on my Nintendo Switch if they put it on Switch, because sometimes, the developer just puts it out. That's what it is. Game developer. It always comes to me. Anyways, my sister and I are currently doing our Maze Runner rewatch. So the other day we watched the first one. Yesterday we watched The Scorch Trials. Today we're gonna watch The Death Cure. I haven't watched these movies in a really long time. I read the books when I was younger, and I'm like kind of relearning the whole premise of it. So that's been really fun. It's been something to fill my time with. One of my life updates is severely depressed. You guys already know this. I have been struggling so hard with this time off. I find myself, all throughout the year, feeling guilty for relaxing and just having downtime. And, my friend Juliana is trying to help me, she's like, listen, we deserve this. We don't need to feel guilty about having downtime. She's really good at helping, bring me back to life with that and give me a new perspective. Because we're kind of the same. And so sometimes when you hear it from somebody else, it's easier to get through your head. Oh my God, Toby just spotted a bird outside. What is it, buddy? Oh, it's right outside my door, or outside my window. It's on the little rock outside the window. He's panting. I'm sorry you can't get it, baby. It flew away. Anyways. Okay, now this life update is a little story I have for you. A couple weeks ago, it was like a week before Christmas, my dad mentioned to us to me and my sister, that one of our presents got lost in the mail. And I jokingly to my sister and my family was like, I hope it's not the mouth tape. Because if you guys remember me talking about mouth tape, I've been dying to try it for the past 3 months now, probably. Since the Skinny Confidential launched it, I've been wanting it because I didn't know that it was a thing until Lauren Bostic launched it. But anyways, her mouth tape is super pretty. It's pink. It's shaped like lips. Of course, I want hers instead of anyone else's and a generic brand. But I jokingly said to my family, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope it's not the mouth tape. Ha. Guess what? It was the mouth tape. So come Christmas morning, my dad is like, hey, by the way, we did order you the mouth tape, but that was the one that got lost in the mail. And I just laughed and I was like, of course it was. But they ended up emailing the Skinny Confidential, and they got me a new package of it, and it arrived a few days after Christmas. And I was making my vision board, and my parents come downstairs singing me Merry Christmas, or we wish me Merry Christmas, and they're just holding the mouth tape in their hands. It was really funny and cute. So we do have the mouth tape. It's here. It's actually on my bedside table right here. But if you can imagine, I haven't been able to use it yet because I've been so stuffed up. I've been sick the whole year of 2025 so far. I'm hoping that tonight will be the night I'll finally be able to try this, because although it may not sound like it right now, I am finally starting to be able to breathe a little bit again. So we're hopeful. If you're watching on YouTube, it comes in this little tin. That's so cute. It can be reused. See if I can open this so I can show you guys. Would you guys believe me if I told you that my microphone just cut out again? Why is this a weekly occurrence for us now? It's really starting to piss me off, because how does that happen? Okay, anyways, I'll show you my mouth tape again, because that's where it cut us off. So here's the mouth tape. It's pink on the inside. Whatever. I'm so mad that just cut out, but good thing we didn't get too far. We're going to get into the weekly report. I'm going to save the rest of my life updates for next week's episode. Releasing Wicked came out at home to watch, and my parents bought it for us. We've already watched it a couple of times. The extended scenes I watched on my own, and they are so amazing, and I understand why some of them got cut out of the movie, but I feel like people needed some of the scenes to see that sisterhood and that friendship between Alphaba and Glinda. So, if you have the chance ever to watch the extended scenes, I highly recommend it. SZA finally released her SOS Deluxe album called Lana. Loving the songs on that album. That's pretty much all that has been released lately that I really care about. I'm hoping this new year brings us lots of great new music. I'm trusting it will. Experiencing, we already went over this, depression, not knowing how to relax while off work, kind of just feeling like every day is blurring together, and it's just been one big long day of the break, and I'm just so ready to get back to things. I'm back to my regularly scheduled programming so that I don't crash out, which I already have. So it's really, you know, playing and watching. You guys, I have been back on the Sims grind so hard. They had a sale over the break, so I bought the wedding stories pack, and my Sim is engaged, so I'm like planning her like bachelorette party and her like engagement party, her rehearsal dinner, the reception, all that fun stuff, and you get to like pick out their rings and their wedding dress, and I'm so excited for that. I have been so into Sims lately. That is one thing I've been doing to fill my time, and it does help because you can mindlessly play that game for hours and it's like, oh, time has passed. I have been watching obviously The Maze Runner, like I mentioned. I've been rewatching One Tree Hill. That's like literally one of my favorite shows of all time. So I started a rewatch of that. I feel like it's a good time to do that. Yeah, I haven't been playing much Nintendo Switch to be honest with you guys. I'm just like not in the Animal Crossing mood right now. Okay, obsessing over the Magnolia Parks universe. You guys know that I've been reading this series. I'm obsessed with it. It's all I think about daily. Like, it is consuming my life in a way that I don't think I've ever experienced. Like, okay, that's a lie because the Binding 13 series, Throne of Glass series, but it's just like such a new feeling. It's like such a different story than those two, and it's just so fun, and it's like it's not like your typical romance because there's also like danger in it, and there's like um it's very like high stakes. It's very Gossip Girl vibes. You know how in Gossip Girl they have like some like life-threatening situations, and that is what is happening in these books, and I'm loving it so much. Reading, okay, so I just finished um Daisy Hates and the Great Undoing, which was a 5-star read, and that was my first read of the year, and it was a 5-star. So we are setting the tone high for this year of reading. I'm so excited. Next week's episode, I'm gonna be telling you guys about my most anticipated releases, reading releases, book releases, whatever. So stay tuned for that one. But Magnolia Parks, oh, you guys have to read it. Like, I don't even know how to explain. It's life changing, and that's all you need to know. But Daisy Hates and the Great Undoing, that was one of the best books I've read in a very long time. 5-star. I'm currently reading The Half of It by Madison Beer, which is her memoir, and I am trying to branch out and read more nonfiction this year. I feel like it'll really expand my taste and also just give me a lot of insight on the real world, you know. Anyways, I'm trying to read some more nonfiction, but I'm also reading Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, which is currently the last series in the book. However, Jessa Hastings, which is the author, she has mentioned that Daisy Hates is going to get more books in her series, but for now, Magnolia Parks Into the Dark is the last book and that she's written, that she's released. So this one is the last book in Magnolia's book series, which they are intertwined. You do need to read Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates, but they have their own books. So this is the last of Magnolia's books. Daisy is supposed to have 2 more books, thank the Lord, because I prefer Daisy's books. I like them better. However, I still love Magnolia's books. So yeah, my reading goal for this year is 50 again. I didn't meet it last year, so I kind of want to, I don't want to reach too high to the stars because I know myself and I know that I fill my time with lots of other things besides reading, and so I want to keep it realistic. Okay. Treating, I have been treating myself to some online book shopping. I've been shopping a lot on Pango Books, which is and Amazon, but Pango Books, which is where you can buy like reused books, but they still come in pretty great quality. So I finally got my hands on the original out of print of Throne of Glass, just the first one, Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I am starting officially my out of print collection. So I'm going to try to get those. And then eventually I want to try to get Magnolia Park's series UK out of print covers because the UK covers are so much prettier. And I hate that. I feel like sometimes America gets the ugliest colors, which is fine, whatever. But I need to get my hands on because the original print of Magnolia and Daisy's books, they're so unique. They all have completely different covers that really speak to the contents of the book. I also bought myself a brand new Coach bag from the outlet malls. It's beautiful. It was kind of like a gift to myself for making it through the year because obviously we need that sometimes. But yeah, that is my weekly wrap up, you guys. I have done a whole lot, but like also a whole lot of nothing since I talked to you last. All right, without further ado, let's get into my 2025 ins and outs. Oh my god, I completely wrote down 2024 ins and outs. That's wrong. Let's fix that, or else I'm gonna go crazy. Okay. These are my ins and outs for 2025, you guys. In self-medicating with healthy habits. And you're probably thinking like, oh my god, like, and that's literally so obvious. That's all we should be doing. But I have, over the past few years, especially being college aged and like I did go to college once, it's easy to self medicate with a night out or drinking or smoking or just deciding to go to bars with friends. It's easy to self medicate that way, especially in a college setting, especially when you live in an apartment with college aged people, which is what I did for the past 3 years. It is easy to be like, oh, I've had a bad day. Let's go out. Let's grab a drink, whatever. Lately, I've been trying to self medicate with just diving into a book. And it's okay if it's with like a glass of wine, but not going so crazy. And also just trying to journal and ground myself and recognize the root of the problem and why I'm feeling this way and why I feel the need to self medicate. Just kind of getting to the root of the problem instead of just brushing over it because we don't learn that way. At least I don't learn that way. And it's never a good idea to just brush over something. You want to get to the root of it so that you can stop it. You know what I mean? And using up makeup before buying a new product, I am forcing myself to do this because I can't even tell you guys how many lip products I have, how many lip liners, lip glosses, lip balms. I'm trying to get through all of those before buying a new one because truly, like, what is the need for another one? And it's just consumerism. Like, I'm just so over it. One of my outs, literally my first out for this year is consumerism. Like, I'm over it. I fall victim to it constantly. You guys know, I love shopping. I love buying things. And I think it's okay to like go shopping within reason. But if you have like 3 bronzing sticks, like there's no need for you to go grab another just because it's like hot new product. You know what I mean? So that is an in for 2025. Traveling to new cities. Absolutely, this is an in. I am tired of kind of sitting back and just watching everybody else travel and do what they want just because they took the leap and I didn't. I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to try new things. I told you guys I'm stepping out of my comfort zone this year. I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to thrive there for however long I'm there, and I'm so excited. And taking a chance on yourself. Again, this kind of ties into traveling to new cities. I want to get into the habit of when I think of a new opportunity or when a new opportunity comes across my desk, I want to grab it and I want to trust in myself that I can make it happen and that is possible for me. And so going back to LA, thinking about LA, I have this opportunity to go stay with my best friend in Los Angeles while she's studying there and follow her around, get an idea of what she's doing out there, make connections. I have this opportunity. I'm going to take it and I'm going to trust in myself that I can make this happen and that it will benefit me in some way. You know what I mean? Another end, going back to therapy, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. It did help me significantly when I went a couple years back. And I think therapy is good for anybody at any point in your life. I think it's always good to voice those thoughts that are constantly going through your head. I think it's good to always voice what you're going through. And I think therapy is a great way to do it because you may not always have someone to talk to. You know, me and my friends, we obviously share our problems with each other, but sometimes we're all just going through our own life situations where we don't really have the capacity to listen to each other vent, which is totally okay. Something that Kennedy and I do is we always ask each other beforehand, like, hey, do you have the emotional capacity to listen to my problems right now? And we're either like, yeah, totally, or to be honest with you, no, I'm kind of dealing with my own thing. I love you and I support you, but I can't really handle it right now. And I love that we have that little exchange. So going back to therapy is something that I really want to do. I think it'll be really helpful for me to move forward and also to help me trust in myself, help me recognize what my next steps are, etc., etc. Changing your life because you don't like it is so in right now, okay? And let me tell you what I mean by that. Changing your life because you don't like it. You have the power at any moment in your lifetime to recognize, I don't like where my life is going. I don't like what I'm doing right now. I don't like my job. I don't like the people that are in my life. I don't like my partner. I don't like where I'm living. You have the power at any moment to stop that and work towards what you want. Your entire life is at your fingertips, and I think I forget this so often. I sit here and I wallow in my depression and where I am in life right now. And I still think it's important to be grateful for where you are in life because years ago, your older self probably wished for this, or your younger self probably wished for where you are right now. But all I'm saying is, even if money is an issue, even if, you have all these factors, you still have the opportunity and the power to recognize that you don't like where you are right now and work and take the steps to get to a better place, a place that you do like. And I actually got this from the mom that I nanny for her kids. She posts these things all the time on her Instagram story, and she'll never know how much like she inspires me, seriously. Like her words of encouragement that she posts on her Instagram like inspire me so much daily, and they really help me. Like whenever her page comes across my Instagram on like a bad day, she genuinely gives me that push that I need. But anyways, she posts these things all the time about how like if you don't like your life, change it, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, wow, it's such a simple phenomenon, but it's so true. And I just wanted to incorporate that into my new year. Reading for fun, this is always in, you guys. If you're not reading, pick up a damn book. It can literally be any genre. Figure out what you like. Go to the library if you don't want to invest in, if you don't want to go buy a book, or if you don't have the money for that, go to the library, get a library card, browse for hours, like just figure out what you like to read. It will change your life having the option to just read a book at the end of the night or at the beginning of the day or whenever your free time is. It will change your life. Spend 30 minutes a day reading a book instead of on your phone. It'll completely change your perspective. It'll change the way you view things. It'll change your daily routine, I promise you. Jumping on new opportunities. We already talked about this a little bit. Take the opportunities, guys. Take the opportunities that you get that come across your desk And you don't have to say yes to every single one, but I feel like there's a lot of things that come to light for us at certain points, and we sometimes don't recognize things as opportunities when they are. So, definitely for me, jumping onto opportunities. Wow, I'm so nasally right now. I'm so sorry. Like, are you guys hearing this? It does not sound like me. Okay. In meaningful relationships, and I know what you're thinking, like, and that's an obvious one. That's another obvious one. Every relationship should be meaningful. And you're completely right. But what I mean by this is that if there are relationships in your life that are not, what's the word? Fulfilling you, if they're not adding to your life and they're only taking away, if there are relationships in your life that are one sided, say goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. Let it go. We're only doing meaningful relationships in 2025. I also mean by this just like romantically as well. Because you guys know, like, in the past, some of the people that I've been with romantically, our relationships have been more stressful. They've been more negative and taking away from my life than adding to it. So I'm really trying to focus on meaningful relationships. I am taking myself seriously in, you know, in who I'm searching for in a life partner. I am completely delusional and I put engagement rings on my vision board because I just really want to find my lifelong partner this year. We'll see if that happens, you guys. But I'm feeling really hopeful again. Like, I just have such a good feeling about 2025. And I feel like God has a lot in store for me this year. And I'm feeling very, very hopeful for it. And I think the reason why I've been so depressed and felt so stagnant in life these past couple months is because something big is about to happen. And I know that you have to go through that little like dead end, like, what do you call it? That drought of life before something new and fulfilling comes along. So I'm really trusting in that and trusting in God that He has something big that's coming and all of this will be worth it very soon. Those were all of my ends for 2025. Let's get into outs. Obviously, we said consumerism. I also just like for shits and giggles put TikTok on here because we all know it's probably going to get banned this month and I thought it was funny cuz like God knows that I would never actually delete TikTok and be like TikTok is so out this year cuz I love TikTok, I'll admit it. I love it so much. I just started getting a following on there, so like there was no way I was going to delete it this year unless it got pried from my hands and it literally is this month. So out is TikTok. Um Ignoring and pushing down my feelings. I brushed on this in my ends. This also kind of goes into going back to therapy. I am so tired of it's exhausting pushing down your feelings and sugarcoating things and acting like everything is fine. Like, yeah, we all hear all the time, like, fake it till you make it. If you like act like everything's fine, then everything will be fine. But I just think that's such a bullshit excuse. I think it takes a lot of vulnerability and strength to shed light on your issues and your inner demons. And I'm so tired of ignoring them and pushing them away, thinking that will make them go away. It doesn't, because whenever you push things down, they sit there and they fester and they grow deeper roots in your life. So we are not ignoring and pushing down our feelings in 2025, okay? Actively making plans with people who always say no. This goes back to meaningful relationships. Um, I no longer want to put my energy into relationships that are one sided. I no longer am willing to reach out to people who don't reach out to me first, who I am always checking in on, but they never show me that same effort back. You guys know me. I have a lot of empathy for people. I understand when things get busy and it gets hard to respond, but my true belief is that if you have a meaningful, lasting relationship with somebody, they will always be able to reach out and be like, hey, I'm in a really busy season in my life. I just want you to know that I love you and I care about you and I'm thinking about you. I just have a lot going on. I'm sorry if, I can't communicate as much as I want to, but I'll talk to you when I can. I feel like even, I feel like if you have a meaningful relationship with somebody, they will be able to let you know that and that they have a lot going on, and that's why they're kind of lacking in communication or community. But I just mean like I am no longer investing in the relationships who don't even do that, who don't even reach out and let me know. They're just kind of radio silence, you know? I am no longer investing in that. Situationships are so out, guys. They're so out. This again goes back to meaningful relationships. Like I have been entertaining these like empty promises and love affairs. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's no progression in a situationship. And if you don't know what a situationship is, it's basically just like being in this like one-sided relationship where the other person doesn't actually want to put a label on you. They're just kind of messing around. And it's just really stupid, okay? It's just really stupid. And we're not doing that in 2025. I'm looking for meaningful relationships and I'm not putting myself through another one-sided relationship where the other person doesn't really even want me. They just want me around. Harsh judgment. This is out. I feel like especially with TikTok going away, I'm hoping that this starts to happen a little bit less. But we have become so accustomed to just constantly hating on people on the internet. We have become so accustomed to even to celebrities and like listen, I don't really like never mind. Anyways, even with celebrities, like we sometimes forget that they are real people. I feel like, especially we forget influencers are real people, all these people with a high following. We forget that they can see our comments and see what we have to say about them. And I don't know if it's me just like reading books like Magnolia Parks where they're pretty well known and famous in these books and in these cities that they live in and they're like being torn apart. I'm also reading obviously Madison Beer's memoir and just seeing how hatred has picked her apart and caused her a lot of trauma over the years. Sorry, I thought my microphone literally cut out again, but we're good. But I feel like we have become so quick to anger. And we're not supposed to be quick to anger. We're not supposed to be quick to judge. We were made to be empathetic and loving and understanding. And don't get me wrong, some people deserve harsh criticism and judgment, but never death threats or hatred. I think that I'm hoping that if TikTok really does go away, we're able to breathe like some humanity back into our lives. You know what I mean? And my final out for 2025 is comparison. Now, this one is going to be probably the hardest for me because I'm constantly comparing myself to everybody else on the internet, everybody else in my life. I'm constantly looking at other people and thinking, wow, I wish I had what they had. I wish I could go where they are. I wish I could be doing what they're doing. But I have to remember so often that we are all on our own path in life. Nobody is ahead of us, nobody's behind us. We are all on the same, like, we're in the same boat, but we're on our different paths. Nobody is crossing the finish line first. Every single person on this earth is going through life for the first time, and not a single one of us has it figured out. And I also have to remind myself that everything on social media, including TikTok, is just a highlight reel. And I see people in my personal life and me. I mean, I do this too. I see people in my personal life posting these things about their life, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, like I'm so jealous. I love your life. But then I know in person that they're really, they're going through it. And same with me. I post a lot of highlights, and in reality, like I've been struggling the past few months. You just never truly know, and I have to remind myself, you will get where you need to be in due time. There's no benefit of comparing yourself to somebody else. So, with that being said, those were my 2025 ins and outs. Thank you guys for joining me for another year of this podcast. I am so insanely grateful. I have some big, exciting things coming that I'm literally so excited about. I have a good feeling about this podcast this year. Please let me know on Instagram, on YouTube, on wherever you listen, wherever you follow me. You can always message me in my DMs. Let me know what you want to see from the podcast this year. I've already gotten some great feedback and suggestions from you guys. Yesterday I posted a poll on my Instagram asking you guys what you wanted to see from me this year. Make sure you let me know. I want to, you know, appease you guys while still staying true to myself. So it never hurts to give me a suggestion. I might just do it. June marks the 1 year of Love Letters from Lakyn podcast, which is absolutely crazy. We are like 5 months away from my 1 year anniversary, which is insane. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you guys have given me this past half year. A half year is crazy. I just am so grateful. And this podcast community has been so fun to become a part of. And also, if you are any of my Bookstagram friends that are listening to this podcast for the first time, thank you also for joining me. We do a lot of book talk on here. Thank you for joining this part of my life as well on Instagram too. It's been so lovely to meet so many of my Bookstagram friends in 2024, and I can't wait to meet even more in 2025. I have a really good feeling about this year, you guys. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Lakyn Olmstead and at Love Letters from Lakyn. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. You can listen to the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. And this has been a love letter from Lakyn. Bye.